Beyond Good and Evil 2 is reportedly in its development, and a leak has claimed the game has begun its playtesting phase. The game is expected to be another creative, action-packed adventure game like its predecessor, considering that Ubisoft's latest Skull and Bones was supposed to release next month, which is now delayed until next year, March 2023, because they don't want to go fight against Sony's God of War Ragnarok. This is a good thing for gamers and for the game as well. According to Ubisoft, the game development is finished. The team is working on minor bug fixes and polishing the game. Fans has been waiting a long time for this game, Ubisoft's anticipated sequel to the action-adventure classic that originally released in 2003. After many delays, Ubisoft finally announced at E3 2017 that a prequel was in the works, Beyond Good and Evil 2. Unfortunately, we'll likely be waiting a lot longer before it arrives. And also, the game breaks Guinness World Record by beating Duke Nukem Forever, which took 14 years to release. 3D Realms initially unveiled Duke Nukem Forever in 1997. Its production cycle wouldn't allow the shooter to hit store shelves until more than 14 years later. It's not hard to believe that Guinness recognized the Duke Nukem 3D follow-up as having the longest development period for a video game. Games industry, Biz's Brendan Sinclair recently pointed out that 5,156 days, 14 plus years, passed between Duke Nukem Forever's 1997 reveal and its 2011 release date, meaning Beyond Good and Evil 2 now holds the Guinness World Record for a game with the longest development period. The game appears to be in a confusing place right now, much to the dismay of those who have waited literal decades for this game. The game is the sequel to a pretty old Ubisoft game that has remained a cult classic for many years now. Fans are waiting for a sequel. Thankfully, in 2017, Ubisoft confirmed it was really happening, and for at least a year it looked like solid progress was being made, even if it appeared to still be a ways out. After that, the game kinda just vanished and key talent on the game left the project, leaving questions about its future. Ubisoft reassured fans it was still happening, but it still appears to be quite a ways off. It's been a long time since the game was announced, but 5 years later, a release date still hasn't been announced. During a 2020 investor call, IGN, Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot confirmed that the publisher would be releasing 5 new big AAA games in 2020 and 21, but confirmed in a follow-up session that Beyond Good and Evil 2 would not be one of them. In October 2020, after the departure of Michel Ancel from the industry, Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot said during a separate company's earnings call, VGC, that the game is progressing well, adding that the world is really a fantastic world. So, there's a lot of progress in that team and the game is coming along very well. In a following investor call during July 2021, GamesRadar, Ubisoft's chief financial officer, Frédéric Duguay, wouldn't be drawn on providing a release window. However, he did provide this statement: "We are progressing well with Beyond Good and Evil 2, but it's too early to tell you more at this stage. As such, a release date is currently anyone's guess." Just recently, Beyond Good and Evil 2 got its lead writer, which suggests the story either hasn't been written at all or may be rewritten in a major way. Either way, it didn't suggest that the game is near completion, and a new report from Tom Henderson via Xputer seems to back up this concern. The report noted that some footage was leaked from a recent external playtest and looked far more incomplete than the 2018 demo Ubisoft showed off at that time, suggesting the game had a major overhaul. Sources stated that Beyond Good and Evil 2 lacks direction and feels years away from complete. It was also noted that one person who experienced the recent playtest had no idea what they were actually supposed to be doing while playing. But at the end of the day, these are merely just leaks, so we do have to take on the side of caution and recommend you take this with a pinch of salt just in case. Rumors surfaced that Beyond Good and Evil 2 had entered external play testing at the end of last month, and it seems like the game has quite a way to go if reports that it lacks direction or anything to go by. While no screenshots or gameplay footage have been made public, footage seen by industry insiders suggests the game has possibly been rebooted. Several people who took part in the playtest have shared their thoughts on the game with Xputer, with one saying they felt the game lacks direction, another said they had no idea what I was doing when playing. When combined with the leaked footage and screenshots that are not being made public, the consensus is that the game feels less complete than the version shown off by Ubisoft at the end of 2018. The potential lack of direction wouldn't be too outlandish of a claim, bearing in mind the game has only just gotten a lead writer. This would imply there's very little story to witness at the moment, and even suggests the game may have undergone a reboot, potentially after the original director, Michel Ancel, left the game and the industry altogether in 2020 following allegations of toxic behavior. All sources believe the game is still years away from being released, although this is better than the recent rumors that claimed it was only a matter of time before the game was cancelled altogether. Other details to come out of the playtest were about character customization. which will allow players to create their own character beginning with a select number of presets. Some character creations that had been leaked include one based on a shark and another based on a panda. Apparently all characters have typical customization options. While it seems like playtesters only saw a small section of the game, we can hope that Ubisoft may show off more in the near future. So far, we've got a good idea of what Beyond Good and Evil 2 will bring, though given how long it's been since our last real look, keep in mind this is all subject to change. The game story takes you to create your very own space pirate and explore the universe in your very own spaceship. From what we've seen of the game so far, the game world is astonishingly large and utterly seamless, and you can move from city streets, to sky, to space to outer space without any loading screens at all. Apart from that, the game offers various melee weapons, a gun, a shield and a jetpack. Weapons can be modified with interesting augments, which can be found on the open world exploration. A key item in the game will be a cool spyglass which players can use to assess situations before going into them. Hovering over an enemy will tell you more about them, what augments they're using and their abilities. Players can also use it to scan buildings and assess what they do and whether there might be any use in setting your eyes on them for a robbery. Later on, a developer livestream for Beyond Good and Evil 2 showcased some gameplay footage that showed how melee staff combat and ship maneuvering would work. Outside of this, it also confirmed that players would be using their very own custom characters, and the story will have new information on Beyond Good and Evil's Jade, Dom Zed and the origin of the human-animal hybrids. While he's since left the project, Michel Ancel confirmed the game will be playable online, which falls in line with Ubisoft's live service shift to secure long-term player engagement from its games. It's unclear how online play will actually work. It could be a separate mode with individual matches, or it could work more like other multiplayer games which lets players go through the whole game with a friend. While the game was revealed back in 2017, it's worth remembering that production actually started in 2008. While it'll evidently be some time away, we've just learned that Ubisoft has hired a new lead writer for the project. Announced in a tweet, Sarah Arellano confirmed she will be joining the project, having previously worked as a narrative designer for Blizzard on World of Warcraft, alongside Volition with Saints Row. Ubisoft followed Ancel's announcement up with a statement. The game development team is, apparently, expanding, and the hope is to show the game in action sometime next year, once we pass our next internal production milestones. The game made no appearance at E3 2019, there was still a live stream in June from the development team. In this stream the team showed some of new gameplay details and some concept arts. It was explained that in the game everyone in System 3 is a clone, while hybrids are made by crossing the DNA of humans and animals. Some of these hybrids are used as slaves in the mining and collection of a valuable and dangerous mineral called dualite. The player will be a space pirate, and you'll be able to choose whether you are a human or a hybrid. You'll also be able to rescue these slave hybrids and recruit them to your crew. Overall, the game will give you plenty of freedom to craft your own story. Ubisoft has revealed the Beyond Good and Evil 2 is being worked on using a brand new game engine called Voyager. To capture Michel Ancel's vision for the game and create a world as large as this game's one will be, a brand new game engine was completely necessary, and the tech for it has been in development for the past 3 years. As of now, only one game has been released in this series, the original Beyond Good and Evil, which hit PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube, and PC back in 2003. Luckily, it became a true cult classic over time, and Ubisoft revived the original game with an HD edition for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 in 2011. It's also backwards compatible with the Xbox One. Beyond Good and Evil 2 was first announced all the way back in 2008 with a very odd teaser trailer, which sets the tone for a version of the game we may never experience. It shows Jade and Pei on the side of the road with a broken hover car, as Pei snorts and digests passing flies. Quite a change from what we eventually saw at E3 2017. In 2009, meanwhile, a leaked video, which looks like target gameplay footage, shows an acrobatic Jade winding her way through a busy city as she climbs, runs, takes out guards, and eventually grabs hold of a helicopter and escapes. However, later that summer, Ubisoft confirmed that the game would not yet begin full production. In the years since, we've seen various teasers and confirmations of its continued development, with Ubisoft acknowledging work on it in 2014 and 2016. And then, late in 2016, Ancel affirmed that they were full steam ahead in pre-production, which Ubisoft also confirmed. According to Ancel, the team has been working on the game intently since Rayman Legends shipped in 2013, and that earlier work on the game had been halted due to technical limitations back then. Ubisoft confirmed during E3 2018 that Beyond Good and Evil 2 will have a beta test. However, Michel Ancel did say that Ubisoft was aiming for a playable beta by the end of 2019, and we're now end of 2022, It seems unlikely that the beta test will be live and playable in 2022. We might see a gameplay in 2023, we hope so. As of now, this is all the information we know about the game. As always, thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing to my channel and click on the bell icon for future notifications, and also check out our new website and subscribe for free newsletter for more gaming related stuff.